Hey y'all, surprise! It's me in the flesh. Some of you have never seen me before, and some of you have. So this is me. So this is going to be the first quote-unquote blog, vlog, whatever you want to call it, about my journey through the Glp1 process for weight loss. I am currently on my third week of Wegovy, and so far I want to talk about my experiences throughout this process, because this is actually going to be a fairly long process. Now, my weight loss journey actually started 2 years ago in 2022. My top weight was 282 pounds. Yeah, I was huge. I have since lost, over the process of a year and a half, just doing diet and exercise with no kind of medical help, and I've lost about 30 pounds, and I have kept it off remarkably. However, I was getting a little upset about the fact that I felt like I wasn't losing enough for the amount of work that I was putting in. I was walking 2 miles a day. I was doing weight training 2 to 3 times a week, and I just wasn't seeing the success I was hoping for. So I went about a month ago and talked to my doctor once again, and she suggested trying Wegovy, which is one of the newer weight loss medications on the market now. There are more than just this particular one. There are things like Ozempic, Triceric, I can't remember the name of it, but there's like a whole bunch. There's injections, there's pills that you can take that all do pretty much the same thing. So, but I'm going to talk about my experience. I am in no way a medical professional. I am just going on my personal experience through this journey. So when I started Wegovy 3 weeks ago, I weighed a total of 250. Like I said, I have actually, over the last 2 years, lost about 30 pounds and have been able to keep it off. So I am, in a sense, starting this journey, the second half of my journey, at the 250. So you can see I'm quite a big girl. There's nothing small about me. Originally, when I was younger, I weighed about tops 120 pounds. Due to a back injury, I just put on weight and put on weight and put on weight, and before I knew it, I was huge. I was very unhappy with the way I looked, with the way I felt. I felt terrible. I had no energy, I had no life. Basically, I was sedentary because of the back injury. Well, it took about 7 years to figure out what was going on with my back. Excuse me. And I finally got my back pain under control. I actually have a blown disc in my back, my lower back, and I have piriformis syndrome, which causes my sciatic nerve to be entrapped, and it's no fun. It is, I have to go and get not monthly, but like every 3 months I have to go get pain injections, steroid injections in my back, just so that I'm actually able to walk and function somewhat normally. So that's where I'm at right now. I will show you pictures of where I started and where I am currently at. So here is the thing. I do suggest, if you're going to do a weight loss program like this, to consult with your physician to make sure that you are on the right medication. Some people prefer to do the injections. Some people prefer to take the pills. I personally am already taking Emgality, which is a monthly injection for migraines. So, and it's easier for me to just take injections once a week instead of taking pills 2-3 times a day. That's my personal preference. So I started 3 weeks ago, as I said, and they start you off on the smallest milligram, which is 0.25, and they slowly work you up in dosages as you go. So here is what they look like. Now you see I've already used 3. And this is my dose for today. I take my dose every Monday, so obviously today is Monday. And you see that it's pretty simple to use, and I'll go through with you on how to use it, because it's simple. And if you're afraid of needles, don't be afraid of this. This is so painless. I was actually amazed that my migraine injections with the Emgality are actually more painful than this. This is just like nothing compared to most injections that I've had before. So if you're getting ready to start this and you're not starting it because you're afraid, don't be. It's simple, super simple with these little injection pens, and it takes 30 seconds and it's absolutely nothing. So during the process, whether you've already started it or you are thinking about starting it, make sure to do your research so that you are aware of what to expect. There are side effects, some good, some bad, and we'll go over that with I'll probably start today with a little bit of the side effects that I've been experiencing, which is very minimal, but I have had more positive side effects than I have had negative side effects. So I personally am currently in menopause, which if you've already gone into menopause, you know what I'm talking about. The night sweats, the weight gain, the resistance, your body resisting losing weight. Your whole body is in an uproar that you feel like you have no control over. Well, my night sweats were so bad that I absolutely could not sleep. I couldn't function. I couldn't do anything. It was affecting everything in my life. The nice thing about Wegovy is that pretty much the first day I started taking it, it was gone. Completely gone. I was in shock. I was having them 5-6 times a day, and it was just excruciating. Since I've started taking this, I've not had a single one. Plus, huge plus in my book, because I was really suffering through it. Now, one negative side effect, which I have dealt with in the past, even before I took this, is constipation. Yeah, something that nobody likes to talk about. But my doctor told me that constipation, energy loss, and your muscles can deteriorate if you don't do the right steps. So first thing she told me, because to combat constipation, is this. I take this every time I eat. It says the regular dosage is 5 capsules a day, but I just take one every time I eat, and that seems to solve any issues for me. Now, you will want to talk to your doctor about supplements, what have you. And I will show, this is a Super B complex that helps me with energy. And I also take a magnesium supplement that also helps with energy. Magnesium also helps if you have any kind of leg cramps or anything. So it's always a plus. I also take a supplement called L-carnitine, which is it's an amino acid, and it helps with energy and all kinds of stuff. You'll have to look it up but I think this stuff is amazing, and I have taken this stuff for the majority of my life. And it helps me immensely. I can tell when I've taken it, when I haven't taken it. The other thing is, you need to drink plenty of water. This cup is always full of water, ice. My favorite treat right now is carbonated flavored water. And I have all kinds of different flavors, so I'm never at a loss for flavor. Now, I also have kind of a sweet tooth. Well, not kind of, a big sweet tooth. One of the nice things about the Glp1, the way it works, it cuts those cravings. If you have food noise in your head and you are always thinking about the next meal, the next snack, you're in the middle of doing, say, a set of nails, because I know most of my girls are nail people, and your brain suddenly says, I need the food. You know you're really not hungry, but your brain is pushing you to go get something to eat, something to snack on, what have you. GLP-1s take that away. It helps take that food noise in your head away. It is also great if, like, I have a food addiction. Many people have food addictions. It's very common. I have other addictions. I smoke. Now, I don't drink. I have not had a drink in probably 10 years. And that was by choice. I just didn't want to live that lifestyle. I did do a lot of drinking when I was younger, but it just didn't fit with my lifestyle anymore. So, but it does help with addictions. I've heard a lot of people say that they had alcohol addiction, and once they started taking this, they lost the desire to drink alcohol. So I think that's a huge plus for people that have addictions. I am hoping, I can't say for sure that it's going to happen, I'm hoping that it will eventually start helping with my smoking addiction. Because yes, I have smoked since I was 12 years old, and I have tried repeatedly to quit, and it's just never happened for me. And I've tried all the over-the-counter stuff. I have tried all the prescription medications, and nothing's worked for me so far. So maybe this will. We will find out sooner or later. This is a long journey. It is not something that is going to make you lose weight overnight. And there are lots of ins and outs that I'm still learning. I'm still doing research on it, even after I've started. So, like I said, my first week of the medication was basically my body getting used to it. Now, I didn't expect any weight loss the first week. It's just your body getting used to the new medication and figuring out what to do with it. It does suppress your appetite. Now, some people, it takes longer to adjust to it. Some people, it takes less time. I was lucky so far. My body adjusted to it within hours, and I started feeling the effects of it within several hours of taking my first dose. It does suppress your appetite, whereas I will get a big plate of food, which is a serving that I would normally eat in a meal. I might eat half of it. I might eat less than half of it now. It signals to your body that you're full, even if you haven't eaten as much as you thought you should, or much as you thought you wanted to. So it does do that. One of the things that it does do also is it slows down your digestive system, which is also part of being satisfied after you eat. Your body is telling you that you're still full 2 hours after you eat, so you don't feel like you need to eat again. And that's helpful. However, the second week, I noticed that I wasn't eating enough. So that is my current struggle, is making sure that I am eating enough. You want to have your calories well, me personally, I need to have my calories between 1,200 to 1,800 calories per day. And the second week I found that I just wasn't hungry at all. I had no desire to eat. And so I had to start pushing myself to eat a little more, maybe a little more often than I used to. So that can be a good thing or a bad thing, so you have to watch that. I also do suggest it is a good idea to consult with a dietitian for that reason, to make sure that you are getting the appropriate nutrients that your body needs. So moving on to the third week. The third week I just kind of coasted along, and I have noticed some weight loss. I have lost probably about 5 pounds, which I find is very appropriate for the rate that I need to be losing weight. And I will show you here before the end of the video how to calculate approximately a good area of where you should be losing both yearly, monthly, and weekly. And it's helping me to make sure that I am on track. Now, I have been told, I haven't experienced it yet, but there may be weeks where you don't lose anything. There may be weeks where you lose more than expected, and there may be weeks that you actually gain a pound or two. If you deal with that, don't be discouraged. And that's something that I'm going to have to learn, to not be discouraged when and if that happens. So I was watching another video on another lady that takes Glp1, and I will try to link her YouTube site in the description box. If I forget, hit me up if you want to have that, if you want to watch those. But there are plenty of videos on these weight loss drugs. So do your research. Watch as many videos as you can. Read the internet. Get on Google. Google it. Whatever. If you have questions, maybe they'll be answered in some of those. If you have questions that is not answered, because you're going to have questions through the whole process, make sure to talk to your doctor. Also, make sure to talk to a registered dietitian to help you along, so we have success. We want success with this. We don't want to fail at this. We want success. And at this point, I am not to the point where I have changed my diet any. That will come probably the next 2 to 3 months, where I start streamlining my diet and exercise program. Right now, I am just trying to get used to what's going on with my body getting used to this new drug and the new things that are going on, like appetite suppression, and making sure I'm drinking enough water, because it is, I did find that the medication makes me even more thirsty than I would regularly be. Okay, so I said that I would tell you the formula on how to figure out what, it's a guideline but it's not going to be foolproof. Your body is going to do what it's going to do. You may not have the same results every week, whatever. It's all good. So the drug manufacturer says that over the course of a year, you have the potential to lose between 15 to 20% of your original body weight. So here is how we kind of calculate this. You take your current weight, which I'm going to say 250, and I'm going to do this while let me get a calculator real quick. Okay, so this is my calculator. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I lost it. Let's go back and find it again. Calculator. Okay, so this is a calculator. I don't know if you can see it very well. So first thing we do is we take our starting weight, which is 250, and then we say times 20%. So we go 20%. And if you don't have a percentage on your calculator, you can type in 0.20. And that's the same thing as 20%. And we go to equals. My number is 50. So that is what I can expect to lose in a year, is 50 pounds on average. Now it may be more, it may be less, depending on. So that is what I expect to lose in 365 days. Now I take that, the 50, divide it by 12 months, and that equals 4.16. That is what I expect to lose on an average month, 4.16 pounds, which is not bad because it's a slow process. It's not going to happen overnight. It takes a while to lose a substantial amount of weight. But right now I'm actually above the game, and they said that it happens. Some months you do better, some months you don't do as well. But this is just to kind of give you the idea that you are on track or not. So then I take that number. Oh, I lost it again. Okay. Let me do this again. 250 times 20% equals 50. And then I take 50 divided by 12 equals 4.16. Now I take that number and divide it by 4, which is 4 weeks in a month. And this is going to give me the number that I should be losing per week, which is, I don't know if you can see that, 1.04 pounds per week. So if I am in that general area of weight loss, then I should be right on track for losing 50 pounds in a year, 365 days for a year. So if you've already started your weight loss journey, this will help you kind of figure out if you're on track or if you're not on track. I know quite a few of you have told me that you're on either your second or third week. Now, today I am going to take my 4th dose for my 4th week, and then next week, I believe it's Monday, I go to check in with my doctor to make sure everything's on track, that I'm not having any bad side effects, which so far I have not, and may or may not increase my dosage to the next step, which is the 0.50 milligram dosages, and I would do that for a month, and then the next month it increases again until you're at the full dose. I think the full dose is 2.5, and they say that that is the most effective dose. Now, not everybody gets to that dose. Some people do fine on lower doses. It just depends on you. So we will find out next week that if I am on track and if we're going to increase the dosage or not. So, all this being said, I hope that this is helpful for those of you that are along on this journey with me or are considering this kind of a journey. And I guess we'll do another update in a week after I go see my doctor and we decide what the next step is. So I still have to meet with my nutritionist. I have not made that appointment yet. I think that will happen during my second month. But my diet is not bad to begin with. I don't eat a lot of sugar. My downfall is whipped cream. Coffee with whipped cream. Yes, I've said it. Coffee with whipped cream is my weakness. I don't eat a lot of candy. I don't eat a lot of fried food. I will say that the whipped cream is an issue because it has skyrocketed my cholesterol levels. My cholesterol levels are way, way above normal. So that is one of the things I am working on fixing. My blood sugar levels are pretty normal, which one thing I have to watch for is that my blood sugar levels don't get too low, which is another reason why we have to make sure that we aren't eating on a regular basis, that we're eating, good food, not a bunch of junk, not McDonald's, not Burger King or KFC, junk food. You want to have actually good nutritious food, and you want to have kind of a high protein diet because of the potential for muscle loss during the weight loss process, which is also going to be addressed through exercise and resistance training, which I have started light resistance training, which my little 3-pound weights, lots of fun. So I've just started a very light resistance training, and then do a lot of walking. I take my dogs out and I walk 4 or 5 times a day, 10-20 minutes, and usually that is enough for this particular moment in time. That will probably increase later. We will see how that goes. But anyway, I think we're pretty much up to date for what is going on with me. Let me know in the comments if this is any help to you, where you're at in your process. Are you considering doing something like this? Now, I will say that a lot of these weight loss drugs are fairly new. And over the last probably 2-3 years, they have started becoming a thing. Their research is improving on it every day. And there are new weight loss drugs that I think are going to be released. At least I've heard that they're going to be released in 2026, next year sometime. So they say that one of those new drugs that's coming out is even more effective than the current ones. So that stands to be seen whether that will happen or not. You know how research goes. Research comes, research goes, research improves continually. Science is a continual learning thing, I guess. Continually improving over time. So we will see where we're at in 2026. And if these new drugs actually do come out. So that is where I'm at the current moment. So far I am seeing success. In 3 weeks I've lost 5 pounds, which is above average where I should be according to that 20% calculation. So we're good. And I have another week before I go to the doctor, so we will see if I stay above average, if that number drops lower, or if it stays the same or goes higher. Hopefully it doesn't go higher. That's not what I want to see, but they say it does happen occasionally. So I guess that's all for today's blog, and I hope you enjoyed. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't, maybe you already know all this, but we will, or I will try to keep you up to date as much as I can, weekly, bi-weekly, what have you, as events go, to check in. And in a way, doing this blog helps me to keep up what I'm doing. It makes me more accountable for what is going on in my life. Now, I am not at this moment talking about stressors or any of my daily life. We may get into that another time, because some of you know that my stress levels and my health have not been the greatest recently. So it's all a work in progress. All work in progress. We eventually get to where we need to be. And that's in the direction that I am trying to head now. And we will see how it goes. So I hope y'all have a great day. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, watch some nail videos, because I have plenty of them. And make sure to check out all my beautiful nail brothers and sisters, because y'all, they are great artists. So I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye-bye for now.